All right, this is part three, obviously. So yeah, man, you guys have no idea how top notch of a brand I'm gonna own. I'm gonna own a company bigger than all these Hollywood companies, man. My office will blow all these Hollywood offices out of the water. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna buy this. Me and V's are gonna buy this nice property of land in Vancouver. I don't know, a nice. Before I said an acre and a half, no, we're probably gonna buy like a nice, like 100 acres of land, man. A nice, huge property of land. Hopefully next to the ocean, build our own docks, and that's where we do. We park our yacht. We have our docking where we park our yacht. We might even have an area where we park our jet. The freeway, build a freeway for the jet, all that stuff. That's something top notch, right? Now let's go back to the 17. I need two script developers. So when I pay this bullshit fee and I call from death, and I say to my wife, when we sell Vancouver, and we make plans for starting Scotch with George Lucas, I'm gonna need two script developers. I'm talking to you guys now. I'm gonna need two full-time script developers who are gonna help me write my scripts. I can easily hire different screenwriters for all my movies, but I prefer to have two full-time ones. And I'm also gonna make those two script developers my executive producers. My two script developers are gonna be the boss after me and VJ. There's a high chance, like you're saying, is John Favreau and Dave Filoni are my two guys, man. If I see John Favreau and Dave Filoni available on the ad, obviously, right? I'm gonna have a high chance, 90% chance I'm gonna either them or Ryan Johnson, J.J. Abrams, perhaps. Ryan Johnson, who knows? I might hire Ryan Johnson and John Favreau instead of Dave Filoni. You never know. As Ryan Johnson's fucking talented, even though Last Jedi it wasn't that great. You know what I'm saying? Even I said before I liked it, but like even though Last Jedi wasn't good for Star Wars, Ryan Johnson is a talented screenwriter. As he's a very talented screenwriter, obviously. Okay. John Favreau wanted to pay him a nice $18 million bonus, and he gets his $6 million the first year, and he gets his $3 million for all the other years, yearly salary, which is a nice deal. And he also gets a. I'll talk about my 17 in a bit about their bonus. Um, and Dave Filoni, I'm willing to pay him a nice $6 million bonus. He gets his yearly $2 million salary for the rest of the year, which is nice paycheck, obviously. But worst comes to worst, if Hollywood offers him more money, there's going to be a bidding war. I'll up John Favreau's bonus to 20 million, which is nice. That's 12 million in your bank, and I'll up Dave Filoni's bonus to like 8-9 million or something like that. And Ryan Johnson, I can up his bonus to like 12-13 million if Hollywood offers him more money. He gets his $2.4 million yearly salary. And J.J. Abrams, I can up his bonus to I don't know 26 million or something like that, or 27 million if Hollywood offers him a lot of money, and he gets his 8 million for the first year, and he gets his $4 million yearly salary for the other years, which is a nice deal, obviously, right? As whoever's chosen, high chance somebody tells me John Favreau and Dave Filoni will be my two special helpers. If they're chosen, they're gonna be the boss after me. They're gonna be the boss man. My 17 were all the boss over the crewmen, but they're gonna be the boss over the other five. Hey man, you guys are the boss over the other five. Yeah, me and Vijay are the ultimate boss, obviously, but like I told you, me and Vijay were barely going to be working. The 17 were doing all dirty work. As you guys are the boss. You guys have executive. They're also going to be my co-executive producers. And Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson, whoever's hired, will be my executive producers too. And they will be the boss over the 17 and the whole movie too. I'm going to make them the boss. Hey man, if Peter Jackson's hired, I'm like, hey look man, you're the boss. You're in charge of the whole entire operation. Whenever the creative team asks questions, they're going to be coming to you for questions, obviously. Hence why I want to hire a director who has experience. I don't want to put that stress on me. I don't have any directing experience. Hence why for Zane's, I'm just going to hire a director who has directing experience. And Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson are one of the best. As long as they co-write it with me, I don't mind them directing my movie. If they don't co-write it with me, I'll never let them direct my movie. Zane's is a unique story. You have to what? You have to be careful, obviously. Right. And for the other five, so the secretaries, what I'll do for the secretaries, I'll pay them a bonus before work, and I'll pay them a bonus before they start work, and I'll pay them a bonus after the movie project is over, considering they work their ass off. So before I say I'll pay them a $25,000 bonus, no, I'll pay the secretaries a nice $150,000 bonus, right away. That way they could buy their house right away. If they want to buy a $2 million house, they only need to put what? Like a $100,000 down payment on it. Okay, I'll pay you. The second is, okay, I'll pay you your $150K bonus. That way, once you get your first check, you can buy your house right away. A nice like $2 million house in Vancouver. And the other three, I'll pay them a $250K bonus. That way, when they get their check, they can buy all members of 17 can buy their house right away in Vancouver. And the doc team will be filming this. You're gonna see the doc team filming them buying the condo, buying their house, or a nice ass multi-million house in Vancouver. Yeah, man. You guys are gonna be like, holy shit, these guys are rich. They bought a nice ass fucking house, and even their wealth is pocket change compared to Ivan and VJ's wealth. I don't know. You see John Favreau, he buys a nice like $6-7 million nice ass house in Vancouver if he's hired. You see Dave Filoni buy a nice like $4 million house in Vancouver if he's hired. Yeah, man. Oh my god, these guys are loaded. You see John Favreau and Dave Filoni buy their nice ass. John Favreau can easily afford a Ferrari if he wants, so he's fucking loaded. Dave Filoni can easily get a Ferrari too with it, but the bonus I paid him, obviously. Whereas the 7 team, it's a Ferrari's a bigger car on their budget, but they can buy a nice Porsche, Benz, Genesis, Lamborghini. The other, the other, the other 5, they can get a Ferrari, but it's a big car on their budget. Like if you're making $1 million a year, a Ferrari is a big car on your budget. But the secretaries are most likely get a nice like BMW, a nice like $60,000, $70,000, $60,000 BMW, a nice $60,000 Benz. My point is, they're all going to be driving nice ass cars, and even their wealth is pocket change compared to me and VJ as well. It's actually funny. You guys love when I speak. Like, yeah, you better what? Cherish these videos. This is my last video. I'm gonna call this video one last video about Sky Source, and that's after this video. I am not making any more videos. And the reason why you don't see me because I'm at my word. When I made that final announcement, I said, "Peace, I'm good." I really mean it. You're not going to see me after that video, man. So me and VJ, once this is settled and the office is about to get built, hire a construction team. They begin planning the development. It'll take a good year to build all that, man. Build the building for the office. The building for special effects team might take longer, but the special effects team won't be working until the 4th year. So it'll be long done built by then. But the building for the office needs to be built because the 17 will be working there. I don't know, John Favreau will have his own name on his office. You have John Favreau, Dave Filoni, he's co-executive producers, script developers, yeah. They get their own nice luxury office all to themselves, yeah, man. And if they're hired, they're going to be lucky, obviously. Yeah, man, they get their own nice ass office. Yeah, I told you for the 7 team, it is mandatory that they live in Vancouver because they're my main people. They have to live in Vancouver. There's a high chance they're all going to go with Scotiabank because Scotiabank is a bank that I'm going with. Me and Vich are going with. Yeah, I'll go with Scotiabank too. Go with Ivan. Go Ivan Scotiabank, obviously. I want them to get paid live in Canada. That way they get paid their Canadian dollar, and they don't have to worry about the rates. They get their Canadian dollar, obviously. Well, the actors is fine with the rates, obviously, right? Because the actors are contractors. So once this is taken care of, I'll send Rodriguez home. Me and VJ can now what? We can now take our vacation. I want to visit Japan, Switzerland, because I want to scout the place out. I forgot to mention this. I'll talk about this later on, but like a good week into starting the project of Last of Us Aliens, I'm gonna hire my directors right away. There's a good chance when I do, I'm gonna send Peter Jackson and some people to Switzerland. They're gonna have to do some scouting on locations. I saw a documentary with The Hobbit, and Peter Jackson did scouting in New Zealand. I want him doing that for Xanus too. Hire him, have him and a couple of crewmen. They scout land property in early the first year. I'll do that. You can have Peter Jackson scout property in Switzerland. Scout it with me and my wife too. We can have me and VJ and Peter Jackson. We scout, or Mel Gibson. We scout property and land area in Switzerland. And the 17 will be in the office working. So I'll have me, VJ, and Peter Jackson and a couple of crewmen. We scout land in Switzerland for the movie, obviously. Because a lot of my scenes are going to be filmed on location, and a lot of them most of it's going to be filmed with the set building, obviously, building sets. I'm going to be filming quite a few scenes in studio, obviously, but I also want to film a lot of scenes on location too in Switzerland. It's me, Peter Jackson, and me, or Mel Gibson, and me and VJ are gonna have to do some land scouting. I forgot to mention that. It's good to do that. That way you can pick some good locations to film the movie. Obviously, and it's the script. The legal advisor will be responsible for leasing the land, the property from the government in Switzerland. It'll cost a couple of million because there's a good chance I'm going to lease a good, like, I don't know, 200, 300 acres of land, man. 400 acres of land, something crazy. It's going to cost a couple of $1,000,000 for me to lease. That way you have some good locations for shooting in the movie and all that stuff. Well, most of the scenes will be shot in a studio or on a set. On a set, obviously. But a lot of scenes will be shot in location too. That way you get a kick-ass movie, obviously. So I want to visit Japan, Switzerland, and Dubai, and VJ has her own bucket list. VJ obviously has her own bucket list where she wants to visit, obviously. You see what I'm saying here? VJ obviously has her own bucket list where she wants to visit. So we'll visit the country for a good 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and then we come back to Vancouver. We see the progress for the condo as well as the building for the office. You know what I'm saying? And the building where the special effects team will work. Yeah. We see the update progress and we go back into the country and we what? We enjoy ourselves in the country. We come back to Vancouver. That's how it's going to work. You see what I'm saying here? Yep. That is how it's going to work. Obviously. I don't know. Me and VJ, we took a 1 year vacation. We're trending worldwide. We're trending, obviously. The whole world's watching. Yeah, peace out. You guys feel like shit. Me and VJ trending, going to events, making out at the club, going to restaurants, all that stuff. Obviously. Once that's over with, the condo's now built. And me and VJ's like, oh my god, Ivan, this is my dream. We hug, we kiss, you know what I'm saying? We enjoy the condo, obviously. Me and VJ are going to have to do shopping for our sofas, our TVs, all that stuff. Kitchen appliances. We're going to have to store all our clothes in the what? In the house, obviously, that we bought over the year, obviously. Me and VJ are going to have this nice closet for our clothes. Buy our body wash, our shampoo, our toothbrush, electronic toothbrush, all that stuff. You have to buy all that. Couches for the terrace. Obviously, right? Stuff for the pool. All that stuff. We have to buy all that. Get our internet, our phone, get our phone number, all that stuff for the condo also. Sign up with Canada Post for our mail. You have to do all that, obviously. That's all work. And VJ's like, cheers, Ivan. Me and you are going to be movie stars. We partied up, me and her together at the condo alone. Cheers, me and you are movie stars. We hired our 7 team now. High chance John Farrell definitely will be hired. I might hire someone else. We'll see what happens. We hired our doc team, our photographers, web designers, and graphic designers, and we're now ready to start work. And me and VJ will enjoy the condo for a couple more months. And then once the office is now built and the 7 team are now flown to Vancouver, I'll pay for the 7 teams. All their moving costs, I'll pay for all that. I'll pay for it out of my pocket. So John Farrell and Dave Filoni are hired, I'll pay for their moving costs for their family or their wife when they move to Vancouver, obviously. And I'll pay them, the moment they move to Vancouver, I will pay them their bonus. That way they can buy their house right away. Obviously. That way John Favreau and Dave Filoni, if they're hired, they can buy their nice multi-million house right away in Vancouver if they want to. And the other 5, I'm going to pay them a bonus too. A smaller bonus. That way they can buy their house too, obviously. And then after film is completed, I'll pay my 2 secretaries a nice $150,000 bonus after film is completed. It's nice to pay them a bonus, that way they're motivated to work harder. Pay your secretaries a nice $150,000 bonus after a film is completed. And you send them and their families on a 2-week vacation. And John Favreau and Dave Filoni and the other 3, or Brian Johnson, whoever's chosen, I don't know who's chosen, I'll pay them a nice $250K bonus after the film is completed, and I'll send them and their family or their wife on a tour, or their girlfriend on a 2-week vacation. Book a nice resort for 2 weeks for them and all their family members. They can have fun. A nice resort in Panama or Cuba. They can enjoy themselves for 2 weeks as a thank you, obviously. And they also get the $2,000 gift card. Don't forget that, which is nice, obviously. Right. And once I start the process for Last of Zanus, the 7 team will not hire. The doc team will begin filming me and VJ. Me and VJ will what? Now, hand the 17 the sheets. That way they know. So we hire someone to type out the 4-year plan. We type out the 4-year plan in depth. That way the 17 know what needs to be accomplished for the 4 years of Zanus. And me and Region will now start the process of the last Hope for Zanus movie project. And within the first week, I will call up Peter Jackson's agent and Mel Gibson's agent. And, hey, I want to hire one of these directors to direct my movie. And I'll fly them to within the first week I'm going to do that, and then within the second week I'll fly them to my office, and Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson will be competing for the directing job. I'll ask them a series of questions, and whoever comes with a better answer, that's the director I'm hiring. I'm willing to pay Peter Jackson a nice $60 million to direct my movie. I'll pay him a $10 million signing bonus and a $50 million salary at the start of production. And Mel Gibson, I'll pay him $50 million. I'll pay him a $10 million signing bonus and a $4 million salary start production, which is nice, obviously. And they're going to be my executive producers. They're going to be the boss of the movie. That way, they have a lot of power. Obviously, it's good for them to have a lot of power. Obviously, and first year will be me working on my script with my director and my 2 script developers. And Vijay will be making a few business calls. I'll be making a few business calls. For the cameras, the IMAX cameras, the film IMAX cameras, obviously. At least a good 8 to 10 cameras is enough. Obviously, make the calls for the equipment for the cameras. Have Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson help you with that. Obviously, make the call for the costumes, the machining for the costumes of the main actors, as well as the machining for the mask, the red carpet event, booking Birch's Dark Resort, signing with Amazon. Me and Vijay are going to have to sign that contract, big ass contract with Amazon. Obviously, a lot of things you got to do the first year. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And also making calls for what? What else? The kitchen equipment and the food. That's the only things me and Vijay are going to make the calls for. Whereas the 7 team are doing all the dirty work. All the dirty work. Me and Vijay will be chilling. Co-writing the script for a couple hours isn't that bad. And in the afternoon, me and Vijay do the concept arts with the 2 truth developers who are going to help us with the creative. And Peter Jackson, I guess we do the concept arts with John Howe and Alan Lee. And they'll be responsible for the world building. I heard Alan Lee did concept arts I heard John Howe did concept arts for the Boss Orc. So he will also be responsible for creating Ephesus too, and the bats. And I'll have him responsible for the world building. Alan Lee will do the world building. And John Howe will do the world building as well as the bats. And the guy who drew I don't need the guy for Avatar. Those 2 guys are enough. Those 2 guys, I don't need to hire the guy for I might hire him, we'll see what happens. And the other guy who drew the concept artist who drew the It Pennywise the Clown for the new movie that came out like 5 years ago, I'll hire the guy to create Eratat for Fool and All the Wolves, the Devil Wolf King, 3 times scarier than Pennywise the Clown. Eratat will be so scary. When I say I want him 3 times scarier, they're gonna be like, "Are you sure, Ivan? That's too scary." I'm like, "No, I want him that scary." And they draw it. I'm like, "Holy shit, that's fucking disturbing." You're looking at little demons on the screen, yeah, man. A wolf with human appearance. He feasts the devil bat in the mountains. Something top notch. And Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson will be helping me with the concept arts too. Concept arts for the characters, the animals, wolves and bats. Concept arts for the world building as well as the costumes. What are what? The tradition and cultures. What do the Southerns wear? What do the Northerns wear? They're gonna have to draw all that. A lot of work. I'm willing to pay John Howe and Alan Lee a nice $70,000 to draw, which is nice. Pay the guy